In the middle of the world's vast oceans, far from any coastline, a city moves. A city made of steel, power, and people. This is the modern U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, a floating fortress stretching over 1,000 feet long, towering 20 stories above the waves. It carries more than 5,000 souls, from pilots and mechanics to cooks, doctors, and engineers. Together, they keep this behemoth alive. From a distance, the carrier looks almost serene, a gray silhouette gliding across an endless blue horizon. But step closer, and you find constant motion. Helicopters hover overhead, fighter jets roar down catapults at 150 miles per hour, vanishing into the sky. Cranes lift supplies from incoming ships. The deck trembles, the air hums. This city never sleeps. Each day at sea begins the same way. Long before sunrise, the loudspeakers crackle to life with the ship's reveille. Thousands of sailors rise, dress in uniform, and begin another 18-hour day aboard one of the most complex machines ever built by human hands. Below the flight deck, corridors stretch like veins through a steel body. Over 20 miles of passageways connecting sleeping quarters, machine rooms, and command centers. There's a rhythm to it all, the clang of boots, the echo of announcements, the scent of jet fuel mixed with coffee. The heart of the carrier is not just its aircraft, it's the people. From the young sailor fresh out of boot camp to the captain commanding the entire vessel, everyone has a role and every role matters. A mistake here can mean disaster. Precision is survival. At night, when the last aircraft lands and the sea grows quiet, the lights of the carrier shine like a small city in the dark. Thousands of tons of steel glide through the black water, guided by radar, satellites, and the watchful eyes of its crew. It's more than a ship. It's a symbol of presence, power, and endurance. And for those who live aboard, it's home. Life aboard an aircraft carrier runs on precision, a rhythm measured not by hours, but by operations. For the men and women aboard, each day feels both identical and unpredictable. At dawn, the ship wakes before the sun. The intercom hums with orders. Réveillez, réveillez, all hands heave out and trice up. Within minutes, narrow corridors fill with sailors heading to stations. Some make their way to the flight deck, faces wrapped in goggles and helmets. Others descend into the engineering levels, where the air is thick with heat and the thunder of turbines. In the galley, cooks work non-stop to feed thousands. Eggs, bacon, and coffee are ladled out in a constant stream. It's a cycle that repeats 4 times a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and midnight rations for the night crew. The kitchen never truly sleeps. On deck, the day begins in organized chaos. The flight deck, often called the most dangerous 4 acres on Earth, comes alive. Crews in color-coded uniforms signal to pilots, readying jets for takeoff. Steam hisses from catapults. Engines roar to life. Then, one by one, the aircraft are flung into the sky with brutal force. Below, life continues in the labyrinth. In small, windowless rooms, technicians monitor radar screens, charting air traffic over hundreds of miles. Mechanics repair jet engines. Medics treat injuries and exhaustion. And in command centers, officers watch it all unfold on glowing displays, tracking every plane, every ship, every signal. Even leisure is brief and precious. Between shifts, sailors crowd into tiny lounges to play video games or call home. Some work out in cramped gyms, others write letters or stare at the ceiling of their bunk, listening to the hum of machinery through the walls. By sunset, the cycle repeats. Landings begin, one by one, pilots catching arrestor wires in split-second precision. The deck crew moves like clockwork, guiding each jet safely back. Then, as darkness falls, the flight deck quiets. The ocean swallows the noise. Inside, sailors eat, rest, and prepare for another dawn. The mission never ends. The ship never stops. Life at sea is a balance of duty, fatigue, and unbreakable routine. A day in the life, repeated 1,000 miles from home. Deep below the hangar decks, far from sunlight, flight ops, and ocean breeze, lies the heart of the aircraft carrier, the engineering spaces. Few ever see them, yet they keep the world's most powerful warship alive. Here, the noise never stops. It's a constant roar of turbines, pumps, and generators, a mechanical heartbeat that drives the ship forward through endless seas. The air is thick with heat and oil, and the temperature can soar past 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Every valve, every gauge, every vibration matters. At the core of it all are the ship's nuclear reactors, compact but immensely powerful. These twin reactors produce enough energy to light an entire city, turning seawater into steam that spins massive turbines. That steam drives everything, from the ship's propellers to the systems that launch fighter jets. With nuclear power, the carrier can sail for over 20 years without refueling. But with that power comes responsibility. The engineers who work here undergo some of the most rigorous training in the Navy. Every procedure is double-checked, every switch handled with precision. Mistakes aren't an option, not when you're standing beside a reactor capable of unleashing unimaginable energy. Each shift runs like clockwork. Teams monitor control panels filled with flickering lights, logging every reading by hand. Others inspect machinery rooms, tightening bolts, listening for even the faintest change in pitch. The work is sweaty, exhausting, and crucial. Up above, pilots rely on them without a second thought. Every jet that launches, every radar that spins, every radar blip on the screen, all powered by the men and women toiling below decks. Yet, despite the harshness, there's pride here. The engineers know they are the ship's lifeblood, unseen, unheard, but absolutely vital. Their world might be steel, steam, and shadows, but it's the foundation on which every mission depends. When their shift ends, they emerge from the maze of pipes and noise, their uniforms streaked with grease, faces flushed from heat. For a moment, they breathe in the cooler air of the upper decks, the sound of jets above, the seas stretching endless beyond the hull. Then they return below, because the heart of the carrier can never stop beating. Feeding more than 5,000 sailors at sea is no small feat. On an aircraft carrier, mealtime isn't just about food. It's a massive logistical operation that runs with military precision 3 times a day, every day. Down below the hangar decks lie the ship's galleys, enormous stainless steel kitchens that never sleep. The air smells of coffee, bacon, and steel pans sizzling on the stoves. Crews in white aprons and hairnets move in perfect rhythm, flipping pancakes, stirring vats of soup, and slicing through mountains of vegetables. Each morning begins before sunrise. Cooks work around the clock, preparing breakfast for thousands who will soon report to flight ops, maintenance, or the bridge. Hundreds of gallons of eggs are scrambled, tons of bacon fried, and enough bread baked daily to feed a small town. The ship's food storage rooms stretch deep into the lower decks, refrigerated and dry storage packed with supplies for months. Every item is tracked and rationed, because out here, resupply can be weeks away. When the ship finally meets a supply vessel at sea, it's a breathtaking ballet. Helicopters ferry pallets of food through the air, and sailors form human chains to pass crates below decks. Meals are quick but meaningful. Sailors have only minutes to eat before returning to duty. The mess decks buzz with laughter, chatter, and clattering trays, the only moment in the day when everyone, from officers to mechanics, shares the same space. Favorite meals become morale boosters, taco nights, pizza Fridays, and ice cream machines that never quite keep up with demand. For birthdays and holidays, the cooks go all out, roasting turkeys, decorating cakes, and bringing a taste of home to a place thousands of miles away. And when storms hit or the flight deck is active 24/7, the galley still runs. Grease still sizzles, coffee still brews, and hungry crews still line up. It's more than just food. It's fuel for the mission, comfort in chaos, and a reminder that even inside a steel fortress on the open sea, life still has flavor. Above the steel decks, where the ocean wind howls and jet fuel fills the air, lies the heart of the carrier, the flight deck. This is where the air wing rules, a brotherhood of pilots, launch crews, and mechanics whose precision keeps the ship alive and its power projected across oceans. To the untrained eye, the deck looks chaotic. Jets taxiing, crew running, steam erupting from catapults. But to those who work it, it's a choreographed dance of danger and discipline. Every sailor wears color-coded jerseys. Yellow shirts guide aircraft, green operate catapults, red handle ordnance, purple refuel planes, and blue assist with positioning. Each color tells a story, each move a matter of life and death. When the order comes, launch aircraft, the deck explodes into motion. The catapult crew locks a jet into place. Pilots salute, steam surges, then, in a thunderous roar, the aircraft rockets forward, vanishing into the sky in just 2 seconds. It's raw, mechanical power, man and machine united by precision. Down below, in maintenance hangars, mechanics work tirelessly. They inspect engines, patch bullet holes, and prepare planes for the next sortie. The air wing flies around the clock, day and night, and every aircraft that leaves the deck must come back safely. When they return, landing on a moving runway the size of a football field, it's one of the most dangerous feats in aviation. The pilot must catch a steel cable with the plane's tailhook at over 150 miles per hour. Miss it, and you're back into the dark ocean sky for another attempt. The pilots, young, calm, and fiercely trained, are both warriors and precision engineers. Each carries the weight of lives depending on them. Before missions, they gather in ready rooms, studying maps, reviewing weather, and silently focusing. Afterward, they debrief, faces tired but proud, adrenaline slowly fading. To them, the carrier isn't just a ship. It's home, airfield, and fortress all in one. And when the roar of jet engines fills the night, the sound echoes across the ocean like a heartbeat. It's the pulse of American air power, a symphony of courage, teamwork, and thunder. Deep inside the aircraft carrier lies its brain, the Combat Information Center, and above it, its eyes, the bridge. Together, these spaces command the might of a floating city, guiding its movements through storm, darkness, and war. The bridge is where leadership stands watch, 24 hours a day. The ship's captain commands from here, flanked by officers monitoring navigation, weather, and radar. Through the thick, reinforced windows, there's nothing but endless blue, sea and sky merging into infinity. From here, the carrier's every motion is controlled, every turn, every speed adjustment, every decision that keeps the vessel on course. The hum of electronics fills the air, and the steady voice of the officer of the deck echoes through the comms, steady as she goes. One wrong command could send the ship off course or into danger. It's precision work, a game of patience and trust, because this isn't just a warship, it's a mobile airbase the size of a city block. Below, in the Combat Information Center, the atmosphere changes. The room glows in low red and blue light. Radar screens blink, digital maps shift, and sonar pulses sweep through the ocean. Here, sailors track every nearby vessel, submarine, and aircraft within hundreds of miles. Every contact is logged. Every unknown blip is questioned. CIC is the carrier's hidden battlefield, where information is as powerful as firepower. It's from here that the captain receives reports on enemy movement, incoming aircraft, or friendly ships. Sailors with headsets speak calmly, relaying critical data, their voices steady even when tension rises. During training or real missions, the CIC becomes a storm of coordination. Commands fly between decks, fighter squadrons are launched, defensive systems are armed, all while the crew inside works in near darkness, their faces lit only by glowing screens. These sailors may never see the ocean directly, yet they know every inch of it, every radar echo, every sonar ping. They are the unseen sentinels, the ones who keep the carrier aware, alive, and safe. And above them, on the bridge, the captain watches the horizon, a calm figure guiding 5,000 souls across a restless sea. Far below the flight deck, beneath layers of steel and compartments few ever see, lies the beating heart of an American aircraft carrier, its nuclear reactors. Hidden behind thick security doors and guarded round the clock, these reactors provide the power that keeps the massive ship alive for decades without refueling. The air grows warmer as you descend. The hum of machinery becomes a constant, rhythmic vibration, a deep pulse that echoes through the bulkheads. Down here, everything smells faintly of metal and oil. The corridors narrow, lights dim to a steady glow, and only authorized crew are allowed beyond the final hatch. Inside the reactor compartment, engineers in dark blue coveralls monitor gauges and computer readouts with unwavering focus. Every number, every flicker on a screen matters. They control the pressurized water reactors that generate the ship's steam that drives massive turbines connected to the propeller shafts, pushing the 100,000-ton vessel across the ocean at speeds over 30 knots. Unlike older carriers that burned oil, this one runs on the energy of the atom. Its twin reactors can power the ship for over 20 years without refueling, producing enough electricity to light a city of 100,000 people. The engineers are among the most highly trained sailors in the Navy, part scientist, part warrior, part guardian. Working here means understanding precision under pressure. Reactor crews perform checks every hour. Any fluctuation, a temperature shift, a vibration, a pressure change, must be analyzed instantly. There's no room for mistakes. For safety, layers of shielding and redundant systems ensure radiation never escapes the reactor compartment. And though the sailors down here don't see sunlight for entire shifts, they know their work keeps everything above, the lights, computers, catapults, and radar, alive. When the carrier surges to full speed, it's their handiwork that drives it forward. Every takeoff, every recovery, every hot meal served above is powered by the heat generated in this hidden chamber of controlled energy. It's not glamorous and it's rarely seen, but it's the secret engine behind the might of America's Navy, a silent force that turns atomic energy into unstoppable motion. Beneath the roar of jet engines and the chaos of the flight deck lies another world, a sprawling maze of corridors, compartments, and living spaces known only to those who call the carrier home. This is the hidden city below deck, where 5,000 sailors live, sleep, and survive for months at sea. The deeper you go, the more the outside world disappears. The walls are painted gray, lined with pipes and electrical cables. The hallways, or passageways as sailors call them, are narrow, forcing you to turn sideways when someone passes. The air hums with the vibration of engines and the faint clang of distant machinery. Living spaces are stacked tightly, berthing compartments with rows of triple bunks known as racks. Each sailor gets a mattress barely the width of their shoulders, with a small locker underneath for personal belongings. Privacy is a luxury. The low hum of air vents and the steady roll of the ship lull many to sleep, while others struggle against the constant noise. Still, these cramped quarters become personal sanctuaries. Sailors hang photos of loved ones, clip LED lights above their racks, and tape notes or patches to the walls. Some read, some write letters home, some simply rest. Their world measured in metal walls and distant memories. Every few compartments, you'll find heads, the ship's bathrooms, where the smell of disinfectant mixes with seawater. Showers are short, water is precious. The sound of laughter and friendly complaints echoes through the halls. Down another level, you'll find laundry rooms where sailors work tirelessly to clean thousands of uniforms a day. Between shifts, sailors gather in the mess decks, eating together or playing cards under fluorescent lights. Others unwind in the rec rooms, watching movies, lifting weights, or chatting with friends. Life below deck runs on a cycle of shifts: work, eat, rest, repeat, with no sunrise or sunset to mark time. And yet there's a strange comfort in the rhythm. Friendships form in the tightest spaces. Humor becomes the best survival tool. While the world above might see the aircraft carrier as a weapon of war, below deck, it's a small city of human stories, held together by duty, teamwork, and the shared heartbeat of the sea. For all its size and power, an aircraft carrier is still at the mercy of the sea. Out here, thousands of miles from land, the ocean is both ally and adversary. Calm one moment, furious the next. When storms strike, the ship becomes a living thing, groaning and flexing as waves slam against its steel hull. It starts with a low rumble, then a sudden pitch. Plates rattle in the mess decks. Sailors grab the nearest handrail. Outside, walls of water rise higher than buildings, crashing across the bow and spraying white foam over the deck. The flight operations pause. Jets are chained down, hatches sealed, and everyone braces for the storm's wrath. Inside, the air hums with tension. Passageways tilt underfoot, and the ship's lights flicker with the movement. Every sailor knows their role, whether it's securing gear, monitoring the engines, or double-checking watertight doors. In heavy seas, even simple tasks like walking or eating become challenges. Coffee spills, trays slide, and laughter breaks the tension, sailors finding humor in the chaos. But storms aren't the only danger. On a warship this complex, fire is the greatest threat. One spark, one electrical short, and disaster can spread fast in the confined metal labyrinth. That's why fire drills are part of daily life. When the alarm sounds, a harsh, unmistakable wail, sailors drop everything. Firefighting teams rush through the corridors, carrying hoses and breathing gear. They move with purpose, their training turning instinctive. Some seal off compartments, others douse simulated flames. Even during drills, sweat pours, hearts race, and every action could mean life or death. The carrier's damage control teams are the unsung heroes. They train to battle flooding, patch holes, and fight fires in the most dangerous conditions. Their mantra: fight the ship, save the ship. And sometimes real emergencies strike: fuel leaks, electrical fires, sudden floods. In those moments, sailors transform from cooks, mechanics, or clerks into warriors against chaos. When the storm finally passes, or the all-clear sounds, calm slowly returns. The crew gathers again, tired, drenched, but proud. The ocean may test them, but it never breaks them. Because life aboard a carrier means surviving not just war, but the sea itself. After months at sea, of endless horizons, sleepless nights, and the unbroken rhythm of duty, there comes a day when the carrier finally turns home. The ocean begins to calm. The air feels different. The countdown begins. It starts quietly. Whispers ripple through the ship. Land in 2 days. Sailors mark X's on calendars, their thoughts already on families, friends, and solid ground. For many, it's been half a year or more since they've seen a sunrise without steel around it. But even in the final stretch, the work doesn't stop. Jets still launch and land, maintenance crews still grease machinery, and cooks still feed 5,000 hungry souls. The ship must remain battle-ready until the very last moment. Yet beneath the disciplined routine, a quiet joy builds. In the passageways, laughter returns. Photos of home reappear in hands. The ship's loudspeakers crackle with the captain's voice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially inbound. Well done, shipmates. The flight deck, once filled with tension and the thunder of engines, becomes a place of reflection. Some sailors stand there at sunset, watching the horizon. After months of endless blue, a faint line of green finally appears, the first sight of land. When the carrier enters harbor, it's a sight to behold. Tugboats guide her in, horns echo, and the decks are packed with sailors in crisp white uniforms. Families wait on the pier, waving flags, holding signs, some with tears in their eyes. The moment the gangway drops, chaos turns into celebration. Wives embrace husbands, parents lift children, friends reunite after what felt like a lifetime. For the sailors, the smell of land, the sound of laughter, even the uneven feel of solid ground, it's overwhelming, beautiful, and grounding all at once. Yet deep down, they all know something. The ocean will call again. Another deployment will come, another mission, another horizon. It's the rhythm of the carrier's life, always moving, always watching, always ready. But for now, as the sun sets over the harbor and the great steel giant rests at last, one truth echoes through every sailor's heart. They went to sea as a crew. They returned as a family.